Hello and welcome to the Premier League Invitational. I'm Adam Smith and I'm pleased to say I will be alongside Joe Tomlinson as we look to find out who is the ultimate FIFA 20 player in the Premier League. It is the fifth and final day. We started on Tuesday. All Premier League clubs have been represented either by a player from their squad, an ex-player or celebrity fan. We've had influencers, we've had a BAFTA winner, a World Cup winner and a world champion. We started with 20 players. We're down to just 4, Joe.
Yeah, we've had 4 epic days of FIFA, haven't we? We've seen 94 goals so far, so hopefully we get plenty more entertainment like that today. Just a quick reminder though, please do stay home and help save lives. The prize fund from this EPL Invitational is being donated to the Players Together initiative as well, so that is great to see. Now, all of the players really want to win this tournament. I mean, just listen to Max Aarons here when we asked him how big it would be to lift the trophy.
Yeah, massive. I fancy myself as a FIFA player. I think I'm a very good FIFA player. So I think it's down to me to kind of back up my words really, and hopefully go on and win it.
So there's Max wanting to win it, and we can have a look at the games coming your way today because there is some exceptional fixtures. First and foremost, Aston Villa versus Liverpool. The 2 top scorers going head-to-head. It's going to see Keenan Davis versus James Maddison. The next fixture, we'll see Norwich go up against Sheffield United. It'll be Max Aarons against John Egan. We can see the draw in full as well here. James Maddison, to get to this stage, had to play an extra round than everybody else. Just a quick reminder, he beat Callum Wilson 8-1 in that round, so made it look fairly easy. Then he scraped his way past Max Meyer 3-2 before beating Michael Obafemi on golden goals. As for Keinan Davis, he's been scoring goals for fun, beating Liverpool legend Jose Enrique 6-1 and Burnley's Charlie Taylor 8-1 in a quarter-final. Smithy, for the people that are just joining us for the first time, can you please explain some of the rules?
Yeah, I'd love to. These are the all-important rules you need to be aware of for the EPL Invitational. It is a straight knockout tournament. You lose one game, you are out. It is as simple as that. And each round consists of just one game. Every Premier League club is represented either by a player from their squad, an ex-pro or celebrity fan. But importantly, all ex-pros and celebrity fans are now out. We are down to just 4 current Premier League players. These are the all-important in-game rules. Each match will consist of 2 6-minute halves. In the event of a draw, golden goal will be used to determine the winner, just like it did in EPL Invitational 1 when Diogo Jota needed golden goal to beat Trent Alexander-Arnold of Liverpool in the final. And finally, 85 rated Premier League squads in kickoff mode to find out who is the ultimate FIFA 20 player.
Yeah, we've seen some brilliant games over the last few days and some even better goals. We can have a look at the 10 best goals of the EPL Invitational here too. This one was from Roberto Firmino for Jose Enrique. Look at the celebration mirroring Bobby's celebration in real life. Fantastic finish. Number 9, Olivier Giroud. This one was for Emerson. He picked the ball up about 45 yards from goal with Olivier Giroud and smashed one in at the front post. Number 8 was for Jay Rodriguez and Charlie Taylor. This left-footed finish was really a nail in the coffin for Phil Foden as Charlie Taylor progressed through. 7 came in for Harry Kane. He was Ryan Sessegnon's danger man and really put the nail in Spencer Owen's coffin too. Jack Grealish has number 6. How about that for a finish into the top corner from Keenan Davis? That was one of 8 goals he scored against Burnley. Number 5 is James Maddison's goal that knocked out Michael Obafemi in golden goal with his own character. Michael throwing the pad down after that one. Number 4 came from David McGoldrick. How about this for a finish in the 90th minute to win the game, top corner, past Jofre Archer. Wow. Number 3 was from Michael Obafemi with himself. He scored 7 goals against Tony Bellew, including 5 with his own character. That was the pick of the bunch, twisting and turning, and look at that celebration. Number 2 came from Kelechi Iheanacho against Michael Obafemi. The cutback and the left-footed finish that sent Madders absolutely wild in his own front room. Number 1, though, has to be Paul Pogba. How about this? Top corner from Jofre Archer, 20 yards out. An absolute screamer, Smithy. He was very happy with that one.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there, Joe. That is, without doubt, for me, the goal of the tournament. It was also quite hard to condense them into just 10 because, as you said, we've seen so many goals. That has been a real theme of this tournament. Goals galore we've witnessed, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, Keenan Davis in particular has been scoring goals for fun, hasn't he? 14 goals in 2 games, including 8 at the quarterfinals. However, there have been some really assured defensive performances as well. Look at the likes of Max Aarons. He looks really solid. So I'm hoping we get more entertainment today. Maybe not loads of goals, but lots of tense FIFA.
We can have a look at this. Is an interesting graphic, this one, Joe, because it shows who are the top scorers of the tournament so far. Because as we said, there have been so many goals, been blessed to witness. James Maddison leads the way, 15 goals. He is quite simply the top scorer in the whole tournament. Now, interestingly, second on this list is Keinan Davis with 14. So that's only 1 goal less, and they play each other in semi-final 1. Worth pointing out, James Maddison has played a game more than Keinan Davis because he came through that round 1 qualifier. Michael Obafemi up there as well with 10, although 7 of them were against Tony Bellew. It's worth pointing out. The other thing that is interesting about this list is someone that isn't even on this list, Joe, and that is Max Aarons, who's one of our semi-finalists, not one of our top scorers. He is the lowest scoring of the 4 semi-finals, only scoring 7 goals so far.
Yeah, only scored 7 goals, but he's definitely still one of the favourites, isn't he? He's an extremely competent FIFA player, and I think the fact that he's only conceded 2 goals in the whole tournament really shows you just how well-rounded he is. He's been at 3-0 up in both of his fixtures so far when he's conceded his goals as well. So the game's been pretty much done and dusted. I think Max Aarons, despite the fact he's only scored 7 goals, should not be written off, Smithy.
And the other thing is, Joe, people that watched EPL Invitational 1 will know that the predictions haven't been going particularly our way. Of course, Todd Camwell, favourite in that one, was out in his first game. And Spencer Owen, favourite in this one, was out in his first game. So are we going to just ease down the predictions a little bit from now on, do you think?
Yeah, I'm not making any more predictions. Every time I call someone a favourite, they go on to lose. And, you know, on the top of my head, I'm thinking Keenan Davis might well be the favourite. He scored 14 goals in 2 games. However, if I call him the favourite, he's probably going to lose. So I'm not going to call anyone the favourite. I'm not making any predictions today because I'm always wrong, Smiths.
Okay, I love how modest you are. As well as Joe and myself, we are joined by our 2 FIFA casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley. There, oh, Richard Buckley's got dressed up. He's got the blazer on. So I'll be asking you a lot of questions about the attire shortly, Richard. But Brandon, let's come to you first. The other thing that we haven't spoken about is how entertaining this tournament's been. We've seen some great FIFA action. We've seen a lot of goals. But we really have seen some war of words, particularly with James Maddison. We saw Michael Obafemi say to Tony Bellew, take your son out of the room because this is not going to be pretty. Which, by the way, can we not critique any more of Tony Bellew because I don't want to get on the wrong side of Tony Bellew anytime soon. But we have seen some really feisty encounters, Brandon, haven't we?
Yeah, we have, Smithy. It's been a really, really interesting tournament, this one. And the fact as well that we're seeing 4 new finalists today. We're seeing 4 new teams in the second EPL Grand Finals day compared to what we saw last time out. We've seen, favourites, Wolves get knocked out of the tournament. As you said, West Ham as well, Spencer Owen get knocked out quite early on. But we'll talk about Tony Bellew, I'm sure, for a long time after this one. It was such an entertaining game between him and Michael Obafemi. But we've had so many laughs. I think Joe touched upon it earlier. We've seen 94 goals in total over the 4 days so far, coming into day 5. So, yeah, it's been an amazing few days, and I really can't wait for day 5 to unfold.
Yeah, this is day 5. Just a quick reminder, this is finals day, so it all comes down to today. So I presume, Richard, that's why you've got dressed up for the special occasion. Special blazer for a special day.
Yeah, a special blazer, special man, Smithy, as well, here in the final. I mean, it's a finals day. It's not a finals if I'm not wearing a blazer. It just takes it up that extra 5%. I do want to I'll give you a stat, though, as well. We talked about the goals, the conceding as well. Keenan Davis only conceded 2 goals in the entire tournament. 2 goals. This man is the favourite. You can have all your predictions you want. This is the Richard Buckley favourite. This is the only favourite that matters. He's winning the tournament.
Yeah, Richard, you've been quite strong with your predictions, and I think you alluded to it on day 4. That Brandon has sort of made quite a few predictions, shall we say.
I mean, Brandon, I don't know where this crystal ball is. You've made like 35 predictions in the entire tournament. What's happening, mate? What is happening?
Right, this needs clearing up because this has been going on for far too long. All right, this is going for far too long. I did make a point. All right, I did say a few points about who's going to win. Maybe I said a few too many players could win the tournament, but I did say Max Aarons on the left-hand side of the bracket would go to the final, And I said on the right side of the bracket, James Maddison would go to the final. So my prediction is still okay, Richard. I still feel like they'll be our grand finalists today. It'll be Max Aarons up against James Maddison. You're saying Keenan Davis will win the whole thing. He's looked good. I agree with you. He has looked really good.
I mean, without doubt, he's looked the best player. He's looked the most well-rounded player, in my opinion. But anything can happen in a game of FIFA.
Joe, it's an interesting point Richard made earlier there about, I suppose we were dwelling on the goal scorers because there have been so many goals, but defensively, we should touch upon that as well, because Keinan Davis only conceding 2. That could be a real strength for his going into a semi-final.
Yeah, we got 2 players that have only conceded 2 goals, haven't we? Max Aarons and Keenan Davis. But, James Maddison as well, just because they're not conceding goals doesn't mean they haven't had to overcome adversity. James Maddison's had to come from behind twice. They're really, really tough matches to do so. I know that Buckers in commentary earlier in the week was talking about, because it is that one-game shootout, very rarely do you see a comeback. Well, Madison has been involved in 2. So I think we should maybe put a little bit more respect on James's name, because we've been bigging up Keenan Davis with amazing results, don't get me wrong. But I think that clash in particular is going to be super entertaining.
Yeah, and that clash is our first semi-final. I'm pleased to say we can speak to the players. So first up, Keinan Davis of Aston Villa. Keenan, how are you feeling going into the semi-final? Be honest, are the nerves kicking in a bit?
Yeah, I was a bit nervous, but feeling all right now, so it should be a good game.
Let's have it right. You've scored 14 goals in 2 games. It's been quite straightforward for you so far compared to some of the other players, hasn't it?
Yeah, the people I've come up against haven't really tested me so far, but I reckon this will be a good test. So I'm just looking forward to it.
And of course, in EPL Invitational 1, John McGinn. I mean, we all know what happened to John McGinn. He got hammered, let's have it right, in his first game. And you've been the exact opposite. Have you had words with John McGinn? I presume you haven't been asking him for any tips going into the semi-final.
No chance. But I saw his games, but I'm just going to represent better.
Okay, you are coming up against James Maddison, and we have called it all week. He has been the king of the mind games. He's got in the head of every single player that he's played. And I know that you probably agree with that because you're smirking. Against Michael Obafemi, he even referenced the 9-0 Premier League scoreline from this season and said that he was living in his head rent-free. So how are you going to combat the genius mind games of James Maddison?
Well, Obafemi fed into it. I'm just going to keep composed and just focus on myself. Just ignore him.
You just ignore him. Okay, Keenan, Madders can hear you. He can see you. So finally, do you have a message for James Maddison before we commence?
Not really a message, but I just know I'm going to win.
Oh, there we go, Joe. Fighting talk. It's as simple as that. Keinan Davis says he's going to win. And I think I saw Madders with a little smirk there.
Madders, were you laughing then when Keenan said he's going to win today?
Yeah, I was laughing. Keenan's so good, he's the best in the tournament by a mile, so it's his to lose, ain't it? It's a free roll for me, so.
That feels like a few more mind games there, Madders. Are you trying to take the pressure off yourself?
Nah, we all know Keenan's the best, I've watched his game, he's the best. I'll be surprised if I win this, so like I said, I'm free rolling. Just looking forward to the game.
Now, we've seen some big celebrations from you throughout the tournament, lots of shushing in particular. Are we going to see more shushes come out today if you score?
Do you know what? I actually cut out when I scored my winner yesterday. I ran off my chair and ran around my living room. But I don't know. I'd be surprised if I scored. He's so good at FIFA and he's such a good defender. I'd be surprised if I get near his goal, to be honest.
This is the most I've seen you praise an opponent, I have to say, so far, James. We saw you hammering Callum Wilson. We saw you talking about beating Michael Obafemi 9-0 in real life. What has changed in the last 24 hours to make you seem like you're the underdog in this one?
Yeah, you said it correct. I'm the underdog. Nothing's changed. Just Keenan's so good at FIFA, so I have to try my best. I have to get lucky to win because he's so good.
There we go then, Smithy. I think Madders is definitely playing it down a little bit.
Joe, you can say that again. Playing it down. That is the exact opposite of what I expected from that pre-match interview. I cannot believe what I just heard from James Maddison based on what we've heard earlier on in the week. This is the route, incidentally, that both players took to get to the semi-final stage. So first up, we'll look at Keenan Davis's route. So Keenan, we're looking at pictures now. Your first game was against Liverpool. Jose Enrique, of course, he kissed the trophies beforehand. Of course, he won 2 FIFA tournaments. Did he get in your head in any way beforehand?
No, not at all. I was just playing for the camera. I knew he wasn't going to be up to my standard.
1-1 on the 40-minute mark, but after that, be honest, second half, it was all Keenan Davis and Aston Villa, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was easy run.
We've just seen your celebrations there. It's been great. Very confident, smiling, laughing. It finished 6-1. We've just seen you celebrating there. So you then moved on to your second game, and this was against Charlie Taylor, representing Burnley. Now, Charlie Taylor had already come through 2 matches because he was one of the unlucky players that came through a round 1 qualifier. I think we all expected this to be a little bit closer, but this was so one-sided again, wasn't it?
Yeah. To be honest, I was a bit panicky to play Charlie because his games were.
Why is that?
Because he had 2 games, 2 big teams, and he won. So I was expecting different.
Now, I've got to ask Keenan Davis what it's like for Keenan Davis to score as Keenan Davis, the in-game character. Just talk us through what that feels like.
Yeah, well, when I usually play myself, I don't really score that much because my stats aren't good. So it's a big change and a good change.
A good change. Okay, so that is the route, Joe. 6-1 and 8-1. Keenan Davis, let's have it right. He hasn't been tested yet.
Yeah, not too bad. Maybe the man to test him today will be James Maddison. Maddison, we can see your route to the semi-final as well. Now, you've had to play a game more than anyone else at this level. Do you think it's a positive or a negative you've had to play 3 games and everybody else has had to play 2?
I don't know. How did that work? Was that the luck of the draw, was it? Because I realised that.
Yeah, pure luck of the draw.
Yeah, it's what it is, you know. Probably it might leave me in good stead, I'm hoping. But like I've said, you know, I've watched Keenan's games and stuff, and he looks like the man to beat. So I'm going this with a clear mind, a free mind, and just hoping for the best of him. He's obviously the clear favourite.
And in your first game, you played against Callum Wilson, 8-1 winner. Second game was slightly more difficult, I think it's fair to say, against Max Mayer, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And came from behind in my last 2 games. So if Keenan goes in the lead, there will be no panicking on my side. But yeah, the last game against Michael Obafemi, definitely that was a game. That was a really enjoyable game, and I actually I'm gutted that I froze when I scored the winner because my celebrations I went mental because I was that happy scoring myself as well. But I'm up against a different animal today, so and I know that.
Talk to us about when you were 2-0 down against Michael Obafemi. Did you always feel like you were going to come back? Because you were quite dominant in the game, weren't you? Yeah,
I battered him, didn't I? Had all the possession. Nah, to be fair, especially second half, even though I was behind, I just, when you're playing FIFA, you know, and I knew I always had a chance. And then I was on top, and he got obviously a bit nervous, and he was feeling the pressure, and he buckled under the pressure, which is something I don't do. So really, really happy to come out on top in that one.
Yeah, definitely. And that golden goal moment was one of my favourite of the tournament so far. Were there a few sweaty palms when that one was going through 1-on-1?
Definitely. I just wanted to, obviously, a golden goal, so once you've scored, then that's it. The game's finished, which is obviously a good format. But yeah, I love seeing that one going. Michael's reaction was hilarious to watch back as well.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Right then, Smithy, should we get on with it?
Yes, let's get on with it. Let's bring in our casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley. Brandon, firstly, I've got to ask you, what do you make of James Maddison's pre-match interview there? Because we've been the exact opposite going into this. Is he playing it down? Is this a bit of reverse psychology, do you think?
It's a weird one, isn't it, Smithy? I think he's always been very much confident in his ability throughout this whole EPL Invitational scenario. But maybe he realises that this is a player that we need to be worried about in the tournament. Yes, he scored 14 goals across 2 games, which is pretty remarkable. He hasn't conceded many goals either. But as other people have been saying, has Davies really had a test yet so far in the tournament? I think this is the big test right now.
Richard, do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing, the fact that Keenan hasn't really been tested so far?
I think it can go both ways. It can be a bad thing because you don't really know what he's capable of. We've just seen the best of him. We've seen almost the greatest hits there might be a few stinkers in there as well that we don't know about. But I think overall, as his performance, I've been very impressed. Madison knows what he needs to do. He needs to grind him down. He needs to sort of just not let him get any sort of lead. In a one-legged game of FIFA, get into half-time at 0-0, snatch it in the second half. This game can go either way.
Yeah, this game can go either way, and we're almost ready to go for our first semi-final, and of course, our first match of the final day of the tournament. It's Aston Villa against Leicester. Buckers has got a jacket on for it, especially. We're ready to go. Let's hand you back to our casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley.
Well, here we go then. Day 5 of the EPL Invitational brings us to this stage now. Only 4 teams left in the tournament, and our first semi-final of the day. We'll see Aston Villa and Keinan Davis up against Leicester City and James Maddison. I really don't know which way this game is going to go, Richard. These two so impressive throughout the tournament so far. Used to scoring a lot of goals. James has scored 15. Keenan scored 14. I don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah, if we had 94 goals in total in the entire tournament, nearly a third of the goals have been scored by these two players on your screen right now. Expect fireworks, expect the early barrage as well from Keinan Davis. He's been blowing teams away in the first 45 minutes and then taking his foot off the gas. Expect early goals in this game.
Of course, two teams that have matched up a handful of times in the last season. Back to goal. Could it be the first one in this game? Fantastic save from Schmeichel. It's just an early warning sign from Aston Villa. One thing that we've been so impressed with from James Maddison is that drag back that has scored him so many goals, whether it's with Vardy, himself, Ian Acho.
It's a skill move that he's sort of got the mastery of, that drag back. You saw it 3-4 times there, linking back to back, creating space, opening up avenues in the attacking third. That's beautiful play from Madison on the edge of the box. Good tackle from Keenan.
Corner now for Leicester. They're away at Villa Park for this semi-final. Played short. Jose Perez back to Johnny Evans. He didn't fancy. He wanted to try and play the one more pass on, but will still fall back to the Foxes. Perez bundled over. And Aston Villa with a chance to break away. But we speak about how good that drag back has been for James Maddison. Keenan Davis, what's been kind of his kryptonite in the final third? It's just been how he's been able to link up, how he's been able to get that ball forward as Jack Grealish nearly makes it 1-0.
It's been the clinical edge in the final third that's been winning in the games, Brandon. And as I said as well, early goals kill games of FIFA if you're losing a game. In a one-legged game of FIFA, if you're 2-0 down at half-time, not only is the scoreline so hard to get back, but the mental side of the game, you start then going more attacking, you start pressing higher up the pitch, more gaps are in behind. It sort of plays into your opponent's hands. And
I'm sure as well, Richard, that there will be a few semi-final nightmares if you think back to that EFL Cup that did take place this season where Aston Villa did win on the aggregate scoreline and were able to go to Wembley. Unfortunately, did fall to the hands of Manchester City in that final. But in the league, Leicester beat Villa both times on the road and at home. So we don't really know which way this one is going to go. Vardy.
Also, important to point out, Brandon, James Maddison's been in a semi-final in a FIFA tournament from home in the past couple of weeks as well. He was in the football staying home semi-final, so he knows that he's capable of playing top quality FIFA when the pressure is on. These two are professional athletes, okay, they're playing in front of thousands every single week. I don't really see the nerves being that big of a factor.
If you target into Jack Grealish, he's been full of goals, so is this man John McGinn, went for the cutback, he scored with himself. Of course he scored with himself in a semi-final. Keinan Davis will get the game underway. In front.
And then, did I just see a little shush to the camera as well from Keinan Davis? He enjoyed that one. He certainly enjoyed that one.
One of those, isn't it, Rich? It's a smart finish. It's a guaranteed goal. He said it before the game started. He's enjoyed playing with this version of himself in this 85 rated mode where He now suddenly has 91 pace to his name and some unbelievable statistics going forward.
He's also quite tall as well, Keenan Davis, 6'3" in height. So with the pace, it certainly is a combo to be scared of. Somehow keeps that one out, Jamie Vardy. Madison creating chances. A third of this game completed in your semi-final.
Yeah, to be honest, Richard, I thought that was going to be the equaliser there, Vardy. Back to Perez on the edge of the box, and did he? Able to get the pass away, and Trezeguet try and break forward now for Aston Villa. Do lead by 1-0 in your first semi-final of day 5 of the EPL Invitational. Of course, you cannot forget Norwich against Sheffield United coming up in a little while. Grealish back to Davies. That ball did go through to Jack Grealish. That could have been 2-0.
This is sort of, you'd say, a little bit unknown territory for Keenan Davis. He's usually 3-0 up by this point. His previous 2 results, massive wins. 6-1 against Jose Enrique, 8-1 against Charlie Taylor of Burnley. Madison is, I wouldn't say used to coming from behind, but he knows that he's capable of trailing a game and getting back into it with a late flourish. He was superb in the second half. Absolutely superb.
I think on top of that as well, Richard, sorry, just to jump in, he scored, what, 3-4 goals, as you mentioned, in the first half. Something that he's used to doing, getting early goals, going up with a bit of a lead into the halfway point. And in the second half, I wouldn't say he took his foot off the gas, so to speak, but we didn't see the same sort of performance from him. Last 5 minutes of this first half, and then we will catch up with both players, see how they are feeling at the halfway point in this semi-final.
Wow.
Madison. Which way is he going? Ref, is it a foul? Is it not a foul? It will be a foul.
Is it going to be something direct, or is it going to be a little layoff from Madison? James is over it himself.
I mean, he's going to hit this. He's got to. He's got to hit this.
Man on the line has Keenan.
Here comes Madison over it.
Madden's over it.
Nearly. Testing Pepe Reina in the Villa net. Last chance of the half will fall to Aston Villa. McGinn.
Deadly from that area.
This can happen. Added time of just 2 minutes left. Keenan Davis looking for a brace, a first half brace it would be. I think that will probably do us. Will there be enough time to get that ball forward one more time? Drag back into Kelechi and Acho. Chance for the Foxes to break away. Lovely ball into Jamie Vardy. Vardy is in!
James Maddison. Beautiful play in the final third. Kelechi and Jamie linking up. That is a fantastic goal. Keenan, sometimes you've just got to tip your hat to a bit of a great attacking play.
Leicester City goal, number 9, James Vardy.
Keenan, are you a bit annoyed at yourself conceding right on the half-time whistle there?
Yeah, that's poor from me. Should know better than that.
It was a good goal, though. It was a very, very good goal, and it's a very close game so far. What have you made of James Maddison, the FIFA player?
Yeah, he's been alright. Nothing outstanding, but he's held me to 1 goal at half time. So yeah, it's good.
And this is the first time we've not seen you leading at the break. Are you feeling a little bit nervous? A few sweaty palms going on there?
No, not at all. I'm prepared.
Any changes you're going to make second half? You're going to keep it the exact same?
No, I'm going to keep it the same.
And obviously we saw you score with Keinan Davis as well. You are playing up front really, really well. Do you want to just keep scoring goals for yourself? You're going to, at some stage, substitute yourself?
No chance. I'm trying to keep that going.
All right, I think we're just about ready to go, so I'll let you crack back on. Handing back to our commentary team, Brandon and Rich.
Well, here we go. We are going to get this second half underway in a second, Richard. But some interesting words at the halfway point from Keenan Davis. I think the key thing I'd take away from the half, Richard, is that he's conceded 2 goals in total throughout this whole tournament. But we are just going to have a quick pause in this game, I do believe. We're not going to get this ball kicked out of play. I think there is an issue, and I think Maddison will play this attack if we will look to try and score a goal. When the game does get paused, we will try and get both players' webcams and voices back for you on the screen. Both are trying to pause it. There you go. Ball's out of play, and we will throw back over to Adam Smith now just to fill us in before we get back to this game.
Yeah, as Brandon said, we do hope to get back to that very, very shortly. But Joe, I want to pick up on that halftime interview you had with Keenan, 1-1. Keenan with the shush celebration as well. So he's almost playing mad as his own game, trying to throw the mind games back at him.
We do it, didn't we? We saw Michael Obafemi shushing James Maddison, and that didn't end too well, it has to be said. So maybe it's a little bit too premature, especially given that he conceded right on the stroke of half-time.
Yeah, that's a good point, Joe, actually, because a lot of games we've seen throughout this tournament, obviously it's a 5-day tournament, started on Tuesday. This is the 5th and final day. A lot of big goals we've seen on the halfway point. This will give James Maddison a lot of confidence going into the second half.
Yeah, definitely. Loads of confidence. And I'm not overly surprised that he scored a goal right on the stage of half-time. Right, it looks like the game is back. So I will hand back to our commentary team, Brandon and Rich.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. And yes, we are back underway for the second half of this game. Now, Aston Villa against Leicester. And the point I did want to ask you about, Richard, was the fact that Keinan Davis only conceded 2 goals up to this stage. He's already conceded 1 in this match.
Yeah, I think he's been, I wouldn't say sort of underestimated James Maddison, but James Maddison is a very solid FIFA player. There's no sort of, you can't take anything away from him. He knows how to play FIFA. He knows what he wants to do with the ball. But he was also very much bigging up Keinan Davis. Chance there at the near post. You heard Maddison say it himself. What a save. Great free kick as well.
Well, certainly one off the training ground. Unbelievable free kick. I think it was just played inside to Kelechi and Nacho that had the chance. But what a save that was from Pepe Reina, a player with so much experience in big matches, semi-finals. Here comes Trezeguet now.
Cut it back.
Can Villa get back in front? Went for the cut back inside. Ben Chilwell's there to latch onto that clearance.
That, Brandon. But maybe a little bit of frustration creeping in for Keinan Davis. He's been very smiley, and I mean, he's not been throughout the rest of the tournament. He's not been in this position, has he? In a tight game.
How's that not a foul? On the floor.
Quite animated. James Maddison there at the referee appealing for some sort of free kick. Referee says no, we're going to play on.
It looked like a barge off the ball, didn't it?
One thing I want to say, Richard, we did say coming to this game, this is going to be the first test that, in the nicest way possible, that Keinan Davis is going to have in this tournament. And it's living up to that right now. The scoreline is 1-1. Just 30 minutes left of it. If we are drawing, of course, we're a long, long way away from that. We will be going to golden goal to decide who will be in the grand final of our second EPL Invitational.
I've just been impressed with James Maddison, to be honest. We saw him literally, 2 weeks ago, Brandon, in a semi-final in the football staying home tournament, and he got battered, didn't he, to be honest, in this semi-final right now, arguably against the tournament's best player in Keinan Davis. 1 apiece with 25 minutes left to play. You've seen improvement throughout the entire tournament.
What else did we say as well? Throughout the tournament, Keinan Davis has been 3 or 4 goals up to the good by half-time. That's not the case here. Pause from James Madders, whether that will be a substitution or not. You look back at the games that James Maddison has to go through. We had to go through a golden goal scenario up against Southampton in the quarterfinals. A 3-2 win up against Crystal Palace. Chance now, Davies. He's through. It's his chance. That was his moment.
My notifications off here.
The ball will just go over the bar in the end. An unbelievable chance for Keinan Davies in the end.
That should be all right, I think.
Keenan, 20 minutes left to play. How are we feeling?
Getting later in the game, getting a bit tense.
You see the team that he is lining up with at the moment. 4-2-3-1. No changes though, Keenan. Happy with how it's all going?
Yeah.
James, just a quick word from you. I've been very impressed so far. Have you impressed yourself with his performance?
Speaking to me?
Sorry, I'll let you crack on with the game. We'll catch up later.
James Maddison, so in the zone. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Could that be the winner? The fake shot inside.
So
and Aston Villa will score. It was from the set piece. Surely it wasn't him again. It was.
Keenan
He's got
Davis loves scoring with himself. It's a fantastic bit of ingenuity inside the box with the skill move, with the fake shot. It looks like on a very tight angle, to be honest. But still, somehow managed to squeeze it past Kasper Schmeichel. And with 20 minutes left to play, in that familiar leading position.
That's what the game needed, Richard. We often talk about this all the time when you get a game when you've got two players that are so good. It's either a mistake or just a piece of magic. That was unbelievable from the corner. It was played short, a little fake shot inside, and he tucked that one in at the far hand post. Here comes Kelechi Iheanacho for Leicester. They need a goal.
Why am I
They want to take this to golden goal. 15 minutes left for the Foxes to find an answer.
The tension right now is palpable. Both players getting frustrated with their own mistakes. It's going to come down to one chance to send us into golden goal, all to wrap up the game. Grealish on the edge, back to Nakamba.
Jack Grealish.
Captain Jack Grealish smashes it in at the near post. Keinan Davis.
He was right.
Leading 3-1.
And he's saying to James Maddison, you said I was the best and I'm backing up once again on the big stage. Unfortunately, it's going to be a semi-final nightmare again for Leicester City. And Aston Villa look like they will be going into a grand final again. James, is it game over or is there any way back in this?
It's in the zone. Keenan. Just a quick one, Keenan. I'm seeing a complete defensive change here into a 5-back. Yeah. Is this something you're comfortable with?
Yeah, just want Ezri Konza to keep it solid at the back.
It's a bit of game management, Richard. That's all it is. We've got a final on our hands. The 2 goals up to the good.
Number 10, Jack Grealish.
And I can confirm that will be a total of 17 goals scored for Keenan Davis throughout this process. Drag back, Jamie Vardy. Drag back onto Dragba. What can he do? Tyrone Mings at the back does get fouled in the end, but the referee will go back for a goal kick. And with 9 minutes left.
Oh.
Should be seeing one of those names into the grand final. Not happy with the ref. I'm surprised the ref's had a word with him. Here's Vardy. Yeah. Has to be a goal. That has to go in.
I'll tell you what. Villa's goalkeeper has been outstanding in this semi-final, Brandon. 2 or 3 big saves. When you get into the latter stages of a cup competition, you need your goalkeepers to play well.
Well done. Well done. No.
Body's on the line.
Ow.
It's in.
Hold on.
James Maddison with it as well, Richard. 5 minutes left in this game. Will it be semi-final heartbreak for the Foxes, or will there be an answer? Will we go to golden goal? They need one more chance. Will they get it? That's the question. You always say it, Richard. You get one more chance. You'll always get one more chance.
Lads, move for me.
2 minutes left to play. Is that chance going to come? Pereira wins it back. This is Madison's opportunity.
Barnes back to Chilwell. Any time to follow. Everything has to go forward now. Any time of just 2 minutes left. Vardy back inside. This could be the chance for the Foxes.
No,
Will it be golden goal?
I can't believe
Ball
it.
across the box. Oh,
James Maddison!
Oh my God!
I can't believe it.
And who is it? Richard? It's Wilfred Ndidi. He's back from the death of that tournament defeat. He may have lost 8-2 in the first EPL Invitational.
What a story.
Oh my gosh.
You can't write this. Shakespeare, eat your heart out. After getting battered in the first Premier League Invitational, Ndidi comes back to save the game. Oh,
He's the hero. He's the hero, Richard. Wilfred Ndidi. Keenan Davis, he made a defensive change. There was 9 minutes. There was 9 minutes left in that game. He was leading by 2-0, Richard. You don't throw away that kind of result in a semi-final. You don't.
These are what final days of tournaments are all about. 3-2 with a minute and a half left to play. Ndidi at the back post. We said Madden's going to get one more chance. And boy, has he took it. Keinan Davis back into the familiar 4-2-3-1 formation. He will come forward from the kickoff. And I'll tell you what, this will be the ultimate drama finish.
No way.
I think that's a delayed reaction there from Madison. We got his webcam a little bit later on in that game. He's not just scored again in that game. Do not worry. I think that was the Ndidi goal. He certainly has been enjoying it just as much as we did. But I think that's it. We've got about a few more seconds to play, and then we will be going to golden goal. But what happened last time, Richard? Leicester City, they were in golden goal against Southampton. James Maddison won that game with himself.
Oh, I mean, James Maddison knows how to win in golden goal. We're a few seconds away from being into golden goal. I think it was scored just on the 90th, so we have got injury time left to play. Are we going to see a winner, Brandon? Or is it going to be Keinan Davis?
To be honest, I think it's just kickoff.
Yeah.
All that is needed to play in this game, because it was 90+2 when the chance did come in. And it was a goal from Wilfred Ndidi. If you don't know the kind of context behind that, Wilfred Ndidi represented the Foxes last time out in the EPL Invitational. He lost 8-2 in his first game. That's the full-time whistle. We've got a golden goal in our hands. Aston Villa 3, Leicester City 3.
Wow, we are going to golden goal. Golden goal in our first semi-final. It was all Keinan Davis. We heard Keinan Davis even say James Maddison. He was right to say I'm the best player. But Joe, just when we thought Maddison was out, just like in the previous round, he's going to golden goal. What's drama, mate?
Big time right now. I cannot believe that I've just seen that. There was only 9 minutes left on the game, and we saw 2 goals from James Maddison. Never count him out. The same thing happened, didn't it, against Michael Obafemi? Unbelievable turnaround. Keinan Davis changing formation. What on earth was he thinking? It's all gone wrong from that point onwards, Smithy.
Joe, we saw Keinan Davis with the shush. We saw him say to James Maddison, as I said, that he's the best player. James Maddison playing it down, but an unbelievable last moment. Shakespeare eats your heart out, Richard Buckley said. I don't know what it means, but it thoroughly entertained me. And what we're going to golden goal. And surely now you have to put James Maddison as slight favourite, because he's used to this golden goal. He came through this in his previous round and he knows how to come back.
I think there's no favourites right now. We're going to see 2 teams with fresh legs. Both of them have had 90 minutes to work out how the opposition played. And let's be honest, the keepers kept them in that game. There was some massive chances for both Leicester and for Villa. I mean, I'm running out of superlatives to describe this tournament, because that was an unbelievable comeback by Madders.
And Joe, just to add to the drama, Keinan Davis scored with Keinan Davis. James Maddison scored with James Maddison. And we saw some epic scenes when he got that equaliser as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely epic scenes. We saw it on a slight delay, didn't we? But it was Wilfred Ndidi as well that scored the goal. Of course, Wilfred Ndidi represented Leicester in EPL Invitational 1 and was not very good. He got absolutely hammered, went out first round. So for him to come back and score the equaliser in the 91st minute for Leicester and James Maddison is, like Buckley said in commentary, a script that Shakespeare couldn't write.
Yeah, yeah, a bit of context for that as well. And Ndidi lost 8-2, so he was at his first game in EPL Invitational 1, and he actually took to social media to say Jamie Vardy and Kasper Schmeichel will never let me play FIFA on the coach again because Leicester regularly play FIFA on their away journeys. And James Maddison said he's looking to do 1 better, 2 better, 3 better, just looking to do anything better than what Wilfred Ndidi did because he didn't have the best tournament. But Wilfred Ndidi is the man that has saved James Maddison and taken it to golden goal. So I think James might be dropping him a little thank you text after today if he gets through, Joe.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, how about the composure? In the 91st minute, you know, one last attack. Jamie Vardy, most FIFA players are going to try and cut it back, you know, maybe play a ground cross in that situation, but to stand the ball up to the back post for Wilfred Ndidi to arrive at that moment, the composure is brilliant. This game has been so back and forth, and Keinan Davis might be regretting a little bit now, saying, I'm the best and you were right.
There he is. We can see him stretch. We can see him get ready for golden goal. Joe, how do you think the psychology changes? Because we mentioned before the game, Keenan hasn't really been tested at all. It's been so comfortable for him. How do you think that changes now going into golden goal? Do you think he must be feeling the pressure now?
I don't know. He's been quite relaxed throughout, hasn't he? We saw a bit of a celebration when the third goal went in. I think he thought the game had been put to bed, but it hadn't. And I just think he'll try and keep his composure. You know, he's a very, very good FIFA player. And if he can just get the ball in and around the box, into the feet of Keinan Davis, his own character yet again, then he's going to cause problems. So I think he'll just try and stay calm, try and stay composed, Smithy.
Yeah, let's bring in the thoughts of our casters as well, because we saw how excited Brandon and Richard got when that went to golden goal. Couldn't quite believe what we saw. Brandon, do you think either of them will be looking to make any tactical changes now that we are going to golden goal? Because, of course, as the rules stipulate, the next goal, that is it. You're through to the final.
Yeah, crazy stuff, to be honest, Adam. It was one of those where 9 minutes left. It was 9 minutes left. He was away from sending Aston Villa into another final after beating Leicester again, as we saw in the EFL Cup earlier this year, and when they did pick up that win. He went 5 at the back. You think it's a defensive change that is going to do enough for him to see the game through, but if anything, it made Madders actually play better. He got more players forward, scored 2 goals in 9 minutes, and the fact out of that game for me, Adam, is that that's the most goals, of course, that Keenan has conceded throughout this whole tournament. He conceded 2 up to this point.
Yeah, it's a good point Brandon makes, Richard. That change from Keenan, were you surprised with that tactical change that he did?
A little bit, yeah. I have not seen Keinan Davis play enough FIFA to talk about his tactical changes, but going to a 5-3-2, it's not the most sort of competitive formation. It does invite pressure on. We know Madison is clinical in the final third. Also, another stat, Smithy, ton up. That was the 100th goal of the Premier League Invitational, and what a goal it was, the drama.
You love a stat, Richard, and that is a great stat as well. Joe, the other thing as well, whenever these teams meet, you see the Madison and Grealish debate, both of them scored. So it just puts to bed that both top players. There's so many subplots developing from this game.
So many subplots.
Yeah,
Not
really
long
is.
to go now. I'm just so excited to see this second game commence. Of course, fresh legs as well, which is going to make an awful lot of difference. And I believe the game is about to commence, so I'll hand back to Brandon and Rich.
Thank you very much, guys. 90 minutes wasn't enough. Even 6 goals between the two wasn't enough to separate them. Golden goal at Villa Park to decide a grand final spot here of the EPL Invitational. And Richard, what a game that was. What a last 10 minutes.
Yeah, absolute scenes, Brandon. That's what FIFA's all about. You can never count yourself out of a game. You always get that one more chance. You always get that last roll of the dice. And for Madison, it came in clutch. We've already seen him win 1 golden goal. Shootout here in the Premier League Invitational. He's looking to make it 2. Jamie Vardy!
Jamie Vardy! Come on!
But that's all you need to see. Breathing it. Taking it. Leicester City get their revenge in semi-final.
Drag back does it
Cup
again.
football. and they will be in the grand final of the EPL
Oh my
Invitational.
days.
Wow, so there we have it. James Maddison, another phenomenal comeback. He's in the final. Leicester City have done it. Madder's got to come to you first. Your body language is a picture. Talk to us about that game. What a semi-final we witnessed.
You know what? I just want to quote Keenan Davis about. I think it must have been about 18 minutes on the clock, and he said, "I'm the best, and I am the best." And he's just crashed out. So I'm going to go to the final. I'm going to take Leicester all the way. Come on.
Keenan, I'm sorry to kick you while you're down, but I can confirm James Maddison is right. You did say that you were the best. Do you regret those words now?
Oh yeah, I do.
Keenan, what went wrong? It was plain sailing. James needed 2 goals in the last 90 minutes. It looked to be fairly comfortable. Just explain what happened in those last 10 minutes.
You know what? I put a 5 at the back. It's just messed me up. Messed me up.
Can tell Keenan is absolutely devastated. James, you've been the king of the mind games all tournament. You gave us a bit of reverse psychology going into this one. Have you got inside another player's head, do you think?
Tell you what, I don't know any rent because I'm in there rent free. Do you know what? I thought I'd take a little different approach with Keenan because I knew he was a good player. But do you know what? I'd feed his ego, tell him how good he is before the game. And do you know what? It absolutely worked a treat.
Keenan, I've asked a lot of players if they want to see their opponent win the tournament because then they can say they've lost to the eventual winner. But having heard what James says, do you want him to go on and win it or not?
Hell no. I want him to lose. No, I'm joking. I hope he wins. Make me feel a bit better.
Keenan, brilliant. Got to give the last word to James Maddison. James, you are in the final of the EPL Invitational. Just give us an insight into what that means to represent Leicester City in the final.
Just makes me feel. I'll never forget how I felt at Villa Park when we lost in the semis of the Carabao Cup. And obviously watch Villa at Wembley, so that gives me a slight little bit. That makes me feel a bit better about that. But now, all joking aside, that was obviously great fun. Keenan, good player and stuff, and really enjoyed that. So look forward to the final now.
Guys, thank you both. Keenan, you've been absolutely brilliant throughout this tournament. Very entertaining, very gracious in defeat as well. Madders, we'll see you very soon for the final. Thanks very much, guys.
Cheers, people.
Cheers.
Joe, what a game. Madders alluded to it. These teams actually met 4 times this season, in the Premier League twice and in the League Cup twice. Leicester getting the better of Villa in both league games. But of course, in the League Cup, Villa coming out on top. And Madders saying slight redemption there for that night. So, I mean, unbelievable first semi-final.
Yeah, that was just class, wasn't it? That reaction from Maddison. And we do now have confirmation that it will be Leicester City that progress to the final of the EPL Invitational after James Maddison defeats Keinan Davis 4-3 on golden goal. We can see the draw in full and the route that James has taken to get here. Of course, you won't be able to see the fact he beat Callum Wilson 8-1 before that Palace game. Then he beats Southampton. Now he beats Villa. Right, we can see the game as well that you're about to see after the break. It will be Norwich versus Sheffield United. Max Aarons versus John Egan, Smithy.
Yeah, it is time for a quick break, but do not go anywhere because Norwich against Sheffield United is our next semi-final. Who will be joining James Maddison in the final? Find out very soon. We'll see you in a bit. Invitational. This is the final day, of course, and Joe, I think James Maddison is still celebrating that dramatic winner from semi-final 1. What a game, mate.
What have we just seen? A 4-3 victory in golden goal. What entertainment. But we've got more coming your way in just a moment. Let's have a look at the match you're about to see. It's going to be Norwich against Sheffield United. Max Aarons versus John Egan. We can have a look at their route to the final as well. So Max Aarons had to get past Ryan Sessegnon. He did so, beating him 4-1, then dispatching of Emerson 3-1 to set up this game. As for John Egan, he had to beat Jofra Archer, and he did so in the 90th minute before beating his Irish compatriot Aaron Connolly 4-2, setting up an epic semi-final between Norwich and Sheffield United, Smithy.
Yeah, and if you did miss semi-final 1, we can bring you the highlights of it right now because you missed a pretty dramatic game, it's fair to say. So this is what happened. It was, of course, Keinan Davis of Aston Villa against James Maddison of Leicester. Keinan Davis scoring early on with his in-game character, Keinan Davis. And what did he do? He shushed the camera. Will he go on to regret that? Yes, he will. James Maddison has been utilising that drag back to perfection all tournament. And Jamie Vardy, the bags man, on target once again for Leicester. 1-1 at the half-time stage. Not a lot separating the clubs until Keinan Davis got on the score sheet again. And it was with Keinan Davis again. And it was with another celebration. Jamie Maddison had his head in his hands. He couldn't believe what he was witnessing. And then this was the goal. We all thought game, set and match. Surely Keinan Davis with 1 foot in the final. But what do we know? Because it was the exact opposite. James Maddison came straight back into it. 2 goals in the last 9 minutes, courtesy of Madison and Ndidi, meant we went to golden goal. This was the golden goal moment. And Jamie Vardy popped up with the winner. And look at what it meant to him, Joe. Look at the celebrations.
The celebration was so good to see. You didn't see it on that highlight package, but when he got the equaliser as well, there was a slight delay on his celebration. And when that celebration came through, let me tell you, it was just as big as the winner, Smithy.
Yeah, I'm pleased to say we can chat to the players for semi-final tours. So first up, Max Aarons from Norwich. Max, how much are you looking forward to taking part in the semi-final? And are you any more nervous watching that epic first semi-final unfold?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Should be a really good game. Obviously, the semi-final has just been played with Madison and Keenan. Was a real good watch. Great game. So yeah, hopefully things will be a bit easier in this game. I don't think they will, but I don't think my heart can deal with a golden goal one like that.
Yeah, us either, actually. Todd Camwell represent Norwich in EPL Invitational 1, and he didn't do particularly well, considering there was a lot of hopes on his shoulders. He actually lost to Sheffield United, who you come up against now. So is this a bit of a chance of revenge for Norwich against Sheffield United? And have you spoken to Todd Camwell at all this week?
Yeah, I've been rubbing it in a bit with Todd, but obviously John will tell you as well, over the last few years, Norwich against Sheffield United, for some reason, out of nowhere, has become a big fixture. It's become a big game, and no one wants to lose that game. So for Todd to lose like he did in the first game, it hurt. So hopefully we can get revenge now.
Okay, finally, do you have a message for your opponent today? The comeback king, we've called him John Egan of Sheffield United. What would you like to say to him before we start?
No, just good luck. It's not going to be an easy game.
Oh, I like it. Good luck. It's not going to be an easy game. Those are the thoughts of Max Aarons, Joe.
So, John, there we heard Max talking about how big of a fixture Sheffield United versus Norwich has become over the recent years. Are you feeling a few nerves today?
Nah, sure. Listen, my first 2 games, big outsider. Coming in here as a big outsider again. So, nothing to lose. Just going to go out there and try and get the win. Speaking to Max a bit beforehand, he's a big FIFA player, loves it. So, hopefully it can turn up for the Blades and try and get the win.
Now, Sheffield United have obviously been surprising a lot of people in real life, and you've been a bit of a surprise package in this tournament as well, haven't you?
Yeah, as I said before, I didn't know what to expect. I kind of came in and, now I found myself in the semi-final and, I'm going for the win and hopefully we can get it.
Have you seen any of Max's recent matches? Because obviously he's looked very impressive, particularly defensively. Have you spotted any holes you're going to look to exploit?
Nah, I don't tend to watch many games. I see clips and that and a few goals here and there. But no, he's a good player, obviously. He's in the semi-final. He's one of the favourites from the outset. So it's going to be a tough game. But, I've kind of upset the bookies already, and I'm hoping to do it again today.
There we go then, Smithy. John Egan hoping to upset the bookies.
Yeah, and before we get into the game, we can have a look at both players' routes to the semi-final. So first up, here is how Max Aarons got here. Max, we're looking at pictures of your first game now. Now, this was against your good friend, Ryan Sessegnon, so you must have been very pleased to win this one.
Yeah, I've said it many times now. Sess is a real good FIFA player. I knew what he was about before the game, so yeah, I was really pleased to beat him in that game.
A theme of this tournament has been friends coming up against each other, including John Egan come up against his mate Aaron Connolly in the last game. So were you on the text and on the socials with Ryan Sessegnon after this match?
Yeah, I gave him a bit of stick after the game, of course. Obviously, I wasn't too happy about it. So, but nah, he's a good friend. So yeah, it was all fun and games.
Love it. So that one finished 4-1. You then came up against Emerson of Chelsea. Now, this was 0-0 at half-time. It was quite a close first half, this one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a tough first half, actually. I didn't really know too much about him in terms of FIFA. Similar to John, I don't really know. I haven't really watched too many of his games and stuff. So it was hard. I was just trying to work him out in the first half, and then it kind of opened up in the second half. So yeah, it was good.
And I won't ask you what happened with that last goal that Giroud scored. We'll move on from that because you did win that one 3-1. So that was Max Aarons' route to the semi-final.
Yeah, John, we can have a look at your route to the semi-final as well. Your first game was up against Jofra Archer and Manchester United. And Jofra was a really good FIFA player, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was good. And I think he scored early on and he was buzzing. So I kind of thought I need to hit back, and I took the lead, and he took the lead again, and I think I was just the more calm one in the last 10-15 minutes, and I managed to get a couple of goals and win it.
Yeah, and it was David McGoldrick, of course, who got a couple of goals for you, including one absolute screamer to win you the game in the 90th minute. He's really good on this FIFA mode, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really good. Him and Moose have a good partnership up front. I think Moose got 2 in the last game as well, so yeah, they've been doing well. Hopefully they can do the business for me again today.
And just talk us through the celebration when you scored that 90th minute winner against Jofra, because I saw the arms come out.
Yeah, sure. We haven't played a game in I don't know how many weeks, and it was the first kind of competitive game I had in ages, and felt like a proper win. It was buzzing. It was dizzy too, so I could do a celebration.
And next up, you had Aaron. Now, this is your Ireland teammate, of course. He's a good FIFA player as well, so this game was really close.
Yeah, it was a tough game. I was more, I was grand for that game, really. The first game, didn't know what to expect. But for that game, I thought I deserved it, especially second half. I think I played well. But he's a good player. He went 2-1 up, and then I think he got a bit nervous, and, I managed to come back again and win.
Yeah, and of course, right at the end, we saw Aaron throwing his controller after he was sort of passing it around the back, and then went up the other end and scored. Are you going to be doing that again today? A few cheeky game management rules?
We'll see. I need to try and turn up and give a good performance first, and then we'll worry about
that. Right, good luck, John. I'll pass it back over to you, Smithy.
Cheers, bud.
Thanks very much, Joe. Great to get the thoughts of both players. Look, very calm. Both these players have been very calm and relaxed going into their matches, it has to be said. Let's get in the thoughts of our casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley. Brandon, I've just recovered, a little breath from the first semi-final, but this should be another classic, shouldn't it? And a tough one to call, this one.
Yeah, I think it really is, Smithy. I think if it can live anything up to like the last semi-final did, we'll really be in for a treat here, and everyone watching at home. But there's an opportunity for revenge here, in all honesty, for Norwich. Because remember last time out in our first EPL Invitational, it was Todd Camwell that lost to Muset 6-2 in the round of 16. This one's a semi-final, so there's a lot more on this game. And I generally think this is an opportunity for Norwich to maybe get their revenge.
And Richard, worth pointing out as well, Max Aarons has been brilliant throughout this tournament. And also in his last game, he's very honest in his assessment. He said it was a close first half against Emerson, 0-0. He made a tactical change at half-time, which was one of the best tactical changes we've seen in the tournament, because second half, it was all Max Aarons.
Yeah, I was very impressed by the tactical change. Basically, his fullbacks were bombing on too much. At half-time, he said, stay back all attacking on those fullbacks. Second half, Emerson had nothing going forward. Very impressed by Max Aarons' tactical awareness of that game, Smithy.
Right, I'm pleased to say we are almost ready to go. It is Norwich against Sheffield United. Max Aarons against John Egan for our second semi-final. Let's hand you back to our casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley.
Thank you very much, Smithy. And here we go. Then our second semi-final is in front of our very own eyes now. Sheffield United up against Norwich to decide who will go up against Leicester City. And of course, James Maddison in our grand final of the second EPL Invitational. And Richard, I really don't know which way this game is going to go. Chance early on. And it is Mousset trying to cause more problems to Norwich City.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you look at, in terms of, from what we've seen FIFA experience, I would say Max Aarons probably edges it. We don't really know much about John Egan's previous FIFA experience. All we can go is on what we've seen in this tournament. He's been good defensively. His centre-backs and Dean Henderson in the goal have been outstanding. Going forward, he plays very quick. He gets the ball out wide and gets crosses into the big men up top.
Look at the run he did have in the tournament as well, Richard. John Egan been able to score quite a few goals throughout his tournament. Scored a total of 8. Did concede 5, but hasn't really shown us a massively convincing win. You look at the results he had, Richard. It's a 4-3 win against Manchester United and a 3-2 win against Brighton & Hove Albion.
I have been impressed, though, with both of those wins, simply because they weren't sort of highly scoring games. They were very tight games. They were very tense games. The sort of game that we just saw then, Keenan Davis, he can throw that away. And John Egan kept his cool, he kept his composure in those games. Love the Ronaldo chop on the edge of the box there from Lundstrom. From John,
a few skills
pressing
into
really
his,
high up the pitch as well.
Into his Arsenal over the last 24 hours or so. He looked really fluid in that attack. Here comes Fleck now. Ronaldo chop. It's Fleck with the shot. And he's just going to sing the hands of Tim Krul in the end. But that Ronaldo chop, working wonders.
Yeah, that was really impressive, wasn't it? I think John Egan even almost had a little sit back in his sofa there and appreciated the skill move from Fleck in the final third. Teemu Pukki has been ever so reliable for Norwich City in the Premier League Invitational, looking to be the talisman again for Aarons in this semi-final.
Yeah, there'll be a few Canaries fans just hoping for a rub of the green in this one. They've played Sheffield United twice this year in the Premier League and unfortunately home and away have not had any luck in taking any points off the Blades. Can they take a result off them here in this semi-final? Teemu Pukki sting in the hands of Dean Henderson.
Lovely back heel to create the chance on the edge of the box, building up nice and slowly, but then that almost injection of pace then into the final third with the back heel cutting open John Egan. But again, I mentioned it at the start of the game, Dean Henderson has been so reliable for John Egan.
Yeah, we must recap as well. Everyone's 85 rated mode, if you don't know what that is. Both goalkeepers will have the same statistics. Both strikers will have the same statistics. Of course, each position will have slightly different pace statistics. Obviously, shooting, passing, all dependent on each position on the field.
Offside.
Mousset. Oh, it's Mousset. McGoldrick linking up. Oliver Norwood. I didn't even see that pass. That's how good it was.
Lino. Flag up.
Max Aarons
Onside,
asking
yeah.
for the Lino.
Onside, take it. What was off as
John
well.
Egan. Potentially one of the goals of the tournament there, cutting him open. Tiki-taka football from Sheffield United. And this Cinderella story for John Egan continues.
I think what's really impressed me in these first 25 minutes, Richard, is just how he's kept the ball. Popping it around, happy to play back, doesn't always want to go forward, doesn't always need to go forward. And then when he does go forward, the Ronaldo chops, just those few skill moves that he's added into his repertoire, have been so good for him.
Both of these two players deep in concentration right now. Don't want to sort of throw them off their game, we've got to say. Puka here, looking to build up with Buendia. I think he's just offside. He's not. He was on looking for the pass across the box.
Did he need it?
Wrong decision, Brandon.
I think he went for it originally, Richard, because it's a guaranteed finish. If you get that ball across the box, it's a guaranteed goal. However, it's just a handful of Sheffield United players trying to make their recovery runs, and good job they did come back because they prevented that from going into the back of the net. Maybe a corner to the Blades. Now, if you have just joined us, our second semi-final in our finals day here of the Premier League Invitational. We've just seen Leicester City book a place in the grand final. Chance, balls in the air, Sheffield United battling, try and get a shot on target. And this could be a chance to break now for the Canaries going forward. Tete into Teemu Pukki, but he's left on his own. He needs another option. Could there be a through ball there?
Egan himself tracking back, Brandon. Winning the ball back off Teemu Pukki. Another chance here. And again, that back four for the Blades, standing strong. Bramall Lane is starting to become a fortress here in the Premier League Invitational.
I mean, defensively, they have been sound. That's from Dean Henderson onwards. Mousset looking for a second. Fleck just can't get past Aarons at the back, who had to come back and defend with himself to prevent that from being 2-0 to Sheffield United. Just 5 minutes left of this first half now. Chance for Norwich to break forward. Hernandez.
Yeah.
Teemu Pukki's in there. Teemu Pukki! It's just like our first semi-final. It's neck and neck.
What a finish from Teemu Pukki. Max, you played with Teemu in real life. How good is he in front of goal?
Yeah, he's a quality finisher. He's anything in front, in the box, he's putting away. So I had the confidence in him, even on his left foot there, to put it home.
Yeah, massive goal. Really, really impressive goal for Norwich. They needed that one before going to the break. Added time to follow of just 2 minutes. Will the Blades get one more chance? They will. Mousset. Goldrick just got his passes slightly muddled up there. So whether to play short, whether to play long. Gave away possession. Added time of 2 minutes. Referee has been played, and that will do us for half-time in this semi-final. Norwich 1, Sheffield United 1.
Yeah, we are on for another absolutely classic semi-final. Surely this can't top the first semi-final. It just might. Let's have a word with both players. Max, big goal for you there just before the half-time whistle.
Yeah, John was applying a bit of pressure, and it's good to kind of relieve it with the goal. As long as I can just take my chances, then I'm good.
John, you started very well, scored the first goal, had 59% possession. How do you assess your first half?
Yeah, good first half. Missed a couple of chances, could have squared one with Flecky, but no, it's going well. Happy with the performance, and hopefully now we can finish strong.
John, any tactical changes? Does that goal before half-time affect your second half at all?
No, I'm not big into tactics. I don't really know much. I just leave it as it is. And, you know, I trust the lads to produce on the pitch for me.
Love that. Okay, we are ready to go for the second half. They can't be separated. It is Norwich 1, Sheffield United 1. Who will join James Maddison in the final? We're about to find out. Let's pass back to our casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley.
Here we go, back on the way for our second half of this semi-final. Rich, absolutely love that from John Egan there. Doesn't mess around with tactics, doesn't mess around with formations, just gets the ball down and plays football, and it's been working so far.
Yeah, there's also a lot of pro players who play the game professionally, who get paid salaries, who play in tournaments, Brandon, all across the world. They don't really delve too much into tactics either. It confuses the sort of AI in the game as well. So John Egan could be onto a winner there, not overcomplicating it. Whipped into the back post there, and Goldrick cut for it. Norwich clearing the lines, but I have been impressed with our John Egan performances. I think he's got better and better every game.
Here comes Norwood now. We've already got the First goal for Sheffield United in this one. 1-1 the scoreline. Remember, winner plays Leicester City in our EPL Invitational Grand Final. That one's coming up straight after this game. Hernandez now. Jimmy Pukki's there. Todd Camwell also in support if he can hold on for the ball for that long. Basham. See how high George Bullock is there. Both fullbacks.
You see the fullbacks high, and you also just see the possession building up for John Egan. He's not rushing anything. He's keeping his calm on the ball. I think the word to describe this performance so far from John Egan would be professional. Buendia on the counter-attack for Norwich City. And again, Henderson has been class.
Yeah, Buendia with an unbelievable chance there, Richard, to make it 2-1 to the Canaries. Just unable to do so. He won't get a better chance, in my opinion. Back down the other end. Chance for the Blades. Fleck cuts back across goal. Superb defended. End-to-end FIFA here in this semi-final. So hard to call which way this game is going to go. Baldock. That's one thing that, if you have noticed in Sheffield United's team, Richard, both fullbacks, as you mentioned, have been bombing on. Left-hand side, right-hand side. They've been involved in the attacks, and it really has helped.
It does open you up a little bit for a counter-attack if your fullbacks are really pushing on, Brandon. But I don't think it's been that big of a worry, really, for Sheffield United. They've also had 2 banks of 5. They've had the 5 players bombing forward, you can see there in the Norwich half, and then the 5 defensive players. That's a world-class pass right there, threading in. Ollie Norwood looking for the back post cross. Is it going to fall to a red and white shirt? Falls to Todd Camwell.
Yeah, Fleck was there, and so is McGoldrick, Richard, at the back post, just lurking, waiting for a bounce, waiting for a deflection, so to speak. It was tipped away by Tim Krul, but tipped away out of danger from the Dutch shot stopper.
I think it is a 5 at the back, you know, Brandon, for Sheffield United.
Yeah, I think it is. 3 centre-halves across the line. And those 2 full-backs. Chance, going to be one for John Egan. He's had chance after chance. One of these has to stick.
Just sort of half chances, aren't there? Nothing concrete, flash balls across the box. Just a little bit off the pace in that final killer edge, that final pass, shot, whatever it may be. Max Aarons has struggled probably since, the 55th minute to get on the ball here. This is a chance for him.
Buendia. And an unbelievable chance. We'll get another one now. Back to Pukki, but those 2 just weren't on the same line. Remember that famous line, feed the moose and he'll score. Could that be coming out if he was to score a winner here?
Will produce the goods again in the semi-finals for John Egan and Sheffield United.
Just need to get more players forward, Norwich. You can just see with that 5 at the back, you just often get so suffocated when Teemu Pukki's up there on his own. He needs options around him. Can Max Aarons bring players into possession? McLean, missed the chance for Norwich. Buendia, another block.
Heroic defending. That's also someone diving across the box there. A Sheffield United defender.
Go, move.
Try and get back. Mousset could be in. He's away from Hadley. Mousset driving into the box, looking for that pass. Just too many Norwich City shirts back there.
Yeah, so many yellow shirts back. It's end-to-end FIFA. 8 minutes left of this one. Todd Camwell, can he redeem himself just as Wilfred Ndidi did for Leicester in that last game we saw to take it to golden goal? If this stays at 1-1 after 90 minutes have been played and additional time, we will be going to golden goal again. There's going to be one more big chance, Richard, to weave one of these 2. Who's going to take it?
Surely we're not going to see golden goal 2 games in a row.
Love it, Jackie.
Hernandez. Chance. Ball across the box is cleared away.
Go.
Lundstrom. Would this be
Lundstrom,
it? Would this be
get
the
in there,
chance? Lundstrom! That's got to be the winner. 88 minutes on the clock. All the way.
John Egan loves a late goal, Brandon. He loves a late goal.
All the way from the centre of the midfield as well, Richard. He made a huge run. A 40-yard run to latch onto that ball over the top. Will that be it? Or will Norwich reply once again and show us some more late drama? We've seen game management before from John Egan. I'm sure we're going to see it again. A minute already played. Massive header. That should surely do it. 2 minutes should be played. Long ball over the top into George Baldock. And that should do us for the game. It will be. And the Blades look a day in the final up against Leicester City and James Maddison. John Egan just keeps on surprising.
John, you seem absolutely delighted with that one. You love a late goal. We saw one against Jofra Archer and another one then.
Yeah, that was a tight game, really tight game. I think two of us were kind of edgy when we got around the box and that. But yeah, another late goal. Ice cool, last 10 minutes. I think that's the story of my tournament.
And Max, I saw you put your head in your hands when that one hit the back of the net. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, not the best. It was a tough game. Probably John had more possession and stuff like that. But it was a tight game. You could tell we were both a bit tense. But that one long ball over the top at the end, it's killed me really.
And John, I saw you pulling out the Ronaldo chops in there as well. That's the first time we've seen that from you this tournament. Is that a new little addition to your game?
Yeah, just playing a few games last night, just trying to brush up. Yeah, I don't know, like I'm just kind of getting better every game. So just trying to add a bit more to the locker.
There was also some incredible last-ditch defending by that Sheffield United backline. I heard Basham's name shouted out plenty of times. You looked really solid at the back that game, didn't you?
Yeah, I know that he likes to drive to the end line and kind of pull it across. Kind of sense that out. But yeah, I was just gambling really, trying to slide in and clear it. And to be fair, Bash and Jackie were on the back post a couple of times clearing it.
So there we have it. Max, do you want to have one final message to John, who progresses through to the final?
No, just all the best, John. It's a good game. Obviously got Madders next.
Cheers, bud. Top man.
Should beat him, innit? He's not the best.
There we go then. Commiserations to you, Max. Congratulations, John. We'll see you in just a moment.
Top man. Hello, Max.
Joe, what a semi-final. Another very, very tight one. But we do now know our confirmed finalists will be James Maddison and John Egan. You can see what it meant to John Egan there. What a semi, mate.
Yeah, what a semi. John said it perfectly, didn't he? He stays ice cool in that final 10 minutes. And I always felt when Lundstrom went through on goal that it was going to hit the back of the net. Some of John's defending was just excellent. And we now have confirmation, like you just said, Smithy, that it will be Sheffield United going through to face Leicester as they beat Norwich 2-1. What a performance by John Egan. We can see how he's got to the final here as the draw in full. John's had to come through some really difficult opponents. He's beaten Jofra Archer 4-3, then beat his good teammate, Ireland teammate that is, Aaron Connolly 4-2. And he's also scored a 90th minute winner against Norwich to get through to the final. And we can see now that it will be Leicester City versus Sheffield United in the final. James Maddison versus John Egan, two of our most entertaining players as well, Smithy.
Yeah, definitely two of the most entertaining. It'll be interesting to see who gets in whose head first. It is John Egan against James Maddison. We started with 20 players. We are down to the last two. Do not go anywhere, because after this short break, it will be the grand final. Hello and welcome back to the Premier League Invitational. We are down to our final 2 players. 1 game remains. It is the grand final and it's Sheffield United versus Leicester.
Here we go then, Smithy. 5 days of competitive FIFA action all come down to this. We couldn't have asked for a better finals day, could we? And the game you're about to witness, the grand final, Sheffield United, the home team. John Egan has shocked many to get this far. Leicester City will be his opponent. And James Maddison, who is the king of the chat, Smithy.
Yes, and if you have just joined us and you've missed 2 semi-finals, where have you been? Because you've missed 2 absolute classics. And here are how the players got through to the grand final. So these are the highlights of the semi-final. Our first one saw one of the tournament favourites, Keenan Davis of Aston Villa, go up against James Maddison of Leicester. And Keenan Davis scored with Keenan Davis to put them 1-0 up. James Maddison then had a big moment just before half-time. Jamie Vardy, as he has been so prolific for Leicester all season, in real life, doing the business on FIFA as well. But Keinan Davis once again took the lead. And once again, it was with his own in-game character, Keinan Davis. He shushed the camera, then he stroked his face. He was really trying to play Madison at his own game, at his mind games. 77 minutes on the clock. Jack Grealish scored. James Maddison thought it was all over. We all thought Keenan Davis had 1 foot in the final. How wrong were we? Because with just 9 minutes left, James Maddison did the impossible. He scored with his own in-game player, James Maddison. And then Wilfred Ndidi, in the last minute of the game, took the game to golden goal for the 2nd time in this tournament for James Maddison. And Jamie Vardy delivered the good. Maddison ecstatic, Keenan Davis devastated. Maddison in the final. Our second semi-final just gone saw Max Aarons and Norwich take on John Egan of Sheffield United. John Egan taking the lead through Norwood. And this was a very, very tight game. Not a lot separating the teams. But Teemu Pukki, who's been the danger man for Norwich all season, and someone Max Aarons said he loves playing with in real life, got the equaliser. But then in 88th minute, the man famous for scoring so many late goals scored another late goal, which meant John Egan progressed to the final. He loves a late goal, John Egan, Joe.
Yeah, like he said in his post-match interview, I thought it was really interesting when he said it, actually. He's been getting better and better throughout this tournament. He said as well that he's been playing a few games off camera, and that definitely showed in that last game. We saw plenty of little skill moves and body feints that we weren't seeing from Egan in the first 2 days, but we are now starting to see he's getting better and better, and this now tees up what is going to be a classic final, Smithy.
The interesting thing about this final, Joe, is that both players have come from behind in so many games and scored late goals. So they're both used to dealing with pressure. They're also both very calm in pre-match interviews. I don't think either of them will get in either's head, if I'm being honest. So it's going to be interesting to see if nerves play a part at all in this game.
Yeah, definitely. They're 2 of our more entertaining players too, I think it's fair to say. We've seen James Maddison with plenty of trash talk throughout the week, so I wouldn't be overly surprised to see that yet again. But against Keenan Davis, he's playing down his chances. He was calling Keenan the favourite, maybe a bit of reverse psychology, whereas John has just openly admitted, I don't play an awful lot of FIFA. I'm not changing any tactics. I'm going to line up with the usual 3 at the back like Sheffield United, 2 wing-backs, and we're going to give it a go.
Yeah, it was interesting hearing John say that, Joe. I don't do tactics. He's got his way of playing, and something tells me I don't think he's going to change anything for the final. He's got his way, and it's working so far. So why change it?
Yeah, exactly. And we've seen the forward line for Sheffield United play really well. Mousset and McGoldrick's link-up play has been a thorn in every opposing player's side so far. Ollie Norwood arriving late too, also a problem. There was a great moment in that game where it was squared to Ollie Norwood, and one of the best goals we've seen in the tournament so far. It was almost like watching Barcelona tiki-taka football in and around the area.
Yeah, I did hear Richard Buckley actually say about that, one of the goals of the tournament, the little tiki-taka. And Sheffield United, just like they've been in the Premier League this season, proving very hard to beat. And he's been very hard to beat, John Egan, hasn't he? I think it was interesting, your point, Joe, as well, the fact that he's got better and better as the tournament progresses. And I'm pleased to say that we can speak to John Egan now. He hasn't had much time to recover from his semi-final. John, have you recovered? How are you feeling after that epic semi-final?
Yeah, buzzing. It was a good game. Max is good, but I think I dominated a lot of it. He had a few kind of chances on the break and that, but no, it was anyone's game going into the last 10 minutes, and Lunny came up with the clutch shot.
Now, John, this is a very hard one for us to predict because you have been a comeback king. You've been a late goal specialist in this tournament. James Maddison has had 2 golden goals and has scored loads of goals. And neither of you seem to be buckling under pressure. This is an interesting one to call. Have you seen much of James Maddison, and what is your thoughts against Madison going into this one?
It's funny, like, because I think 2 of us are just enjoying it. Like, a lot of people are taking it serious and stuff. But we seem to just be enjoying it and going for it. So, yeah, it should be a good game. Battle of the underdogs. I think the 2 of us were the outsiders coming into the semis. So, yeah, we're in the final now. Should be a good game.
It's interesting you say that, actually, because every time I've spoken to you and James Maddison, you've both been very calm. Do you think that's a key to both your success then, that you haven't let it consume you or get in the zone too much? You've been very relaxed, and that's probably one of the reasons why you've got this far.
Yeah, definitely. I think just enjoying, have a bit of crack, and 2 of us are probably, in the final now. Probably no one expected us to be here, but it's good. It's been good, and looking to go one step further now.
John, Madders has been the king of the mind games. We referenced this in semi-final 1. He's got in a lot of players' heads, and he's been very vocal in his pre- and post-match interview. Is he going to get in your head? Are you worried about that?
No, I think he's just trying to calm himself down if he's playing them games. But no, he looks like he's having fun. And I seen there he was losing the last game. I got caught the end of the last game, and he came back with 2 goals in the last 10 minutes. So similar to myself, he keeps calm in the pressure moments and makes for a good final.
And finally, final message to James Maddison, to your opponent in the grand final, our last game. What would you like to say to him?
All the best, bud. Hopefully we have a good game, and all the best.
So there we go, Joe. Those are the thoughts of John Egan. Once again, Joe, very, very relaxed going into another game. I wouldn't be this relaxed if I was in the grand final.
Yeah, I don't think I would be that relaxed either, but I'm pleased to say that we can speak to James Maddison in just a second, I believe. He is on the line. So, James, if you can hear me okay, how are you feeling coming into this final? Are there any nerves that are finally starting to creep in?
Definitely. I'm a bit nervous, to be honest. I just heard, obviously, a bit of what John said then, and you're spot on. Like, we've both look like we're enjoying it, and I fully enjoyed the tournament, but I'm a bit nervous now. I've come all this way. I don't want to lose now. So hopefully I can come out victorious.
You also look pretty buzzing, I have to say. You look pretty excited to get this one underway.
Caught a little bit of John's semi-final against Max. And by the way, I heard Max say, oh yeah, he'll be all right. Maddie isn't that good. I don't know where he got that from. Has he not been watching the games? John's good. He seems like a player. Like he said, he's enjoying it as well. So it should be a good final.
Yeah, you've both had to come from behind a number of times, and I have to say that John is scoring loads of last-minute goals. Are you a little bit worried coming into this one of just how good John Egan is?
John's good. John's definitely good. He tries to underplay it a little bit, like he's someone who doesn't really play that much and all that. But he knows what he's doing. He's good with a pad in hand, so I'm not going to take this one lightly. It'll be a tough game.
So we got one final message for John then. I think he's listening in, Madders.
Want to wish John all the best. I've come this far, so I'm going to try and win it for Leicester, and he's going to have to bring his A game.
There we go then, Smithy. I can't wait to get this one underway.
He's going to have to bring his A game. James Maddison saying John Egan needs to bring his A game for this one. I'm pleased to say we're almost ready to go. It has all come down to this, our final match of the second EPL Invitational. Let's speak to our casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley. Interesting, Brandon, hearing from both of them there, saying that they've almost been the 2 competitors that haven't taken it this seriously. And James Maddison said, I agree with what John Egan said. There's a lot of players that have taken it too seriously or have tried to overthink it. These 2 have been very relaxed throughout, haven't they? And they're 2 worthy finalists.
Yeah, they definitely are indeed. They both had quite steady tournaments in such. More the case for maybe Sheffield United. They had results that were by a goal or 2. On the other side of that, I think for Leicester City fans, James Maddison's given a few Leicester fans a bit of a heart attack in terms of the golden goal scenarios that he's been through. He's been through 2 golden goals to get to a grand final now. And a stat that I really like about this one, Adam, as well, the current top goal scorer out of this whole tournament is actually James Maddison. He's got 6 goals coming into this final. He loves scoring with himself.
Love that, Brandon. Let's just get the thoughts of Richard Buckley before we go in. We are all ready to go. Buckers, quick prediction, mate. What do you reckon?
You know what? I fancy Madison. I think he's shown that he can come from behind. He shows he can score in the clutch games, and he is taking this very seriously. It wouldn't be reacting, Madison, in the way that he is if he wasn't taking this seriously. He set out to win this, and I think he will.
Okay, bold prediction from Richard. We are ready to go. The final of the EPL Invitational. It's Sheffield United against Leicester. Egan against Madison. Let's hand back to our casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley.
Well then, 5 days of action. It's all come down to this one. 20 clubs involved, and now only 2 remain. Sheffield United up against Leicester City in our EPL Invitational Grand Final. John Egan of Sheffield United with the first chance of the game. It will go out for a corner up against Leicester City's James Maddison. Of course, Richard, 2 deserved finalists, but I'm really not sure which way this game is going to go.
Both players been grinding off of the tournament as well. You heard John Egan talking about it in the pre-game, saying he's been playing a few games late at night. He's been sort of just sharpening the tools ready for today on final day.
Dive in there.
James Maddison had a roller coaster of a ride to get to this final. It's been last minute goals, it's been golden goal situations, it's been drama for Madders. Does he have enough in the tank for Leicester City in this final?
You've got to remember as well, Richard, that John Egan just comes straight off the back of that semi-final. James Maddison's had a little bit of time off to sit back and watch John Egan play up against Norwich City, where he did pick up a 2-1 victory, 88th minute winner from Lundstrom. And here's a fact for you, Richard. The last time that Sheffield United actually beat Leicester City, of course, on the real pitch, 2008. So, yes, we're playing virtual FIFA. Maybe something on the point score. Yeah. Chance to just get a point back against them. Last time we saw Diogo Jota of Wolves win in a golden goal scenario. Here's a chance. Jamie Vardy, he's having a party because he's just sent Leicester 1 goal to the good.
I think he did that at that lane.
Jamie Vardy loves scoring in the Premier League Invitational. What a finish that is. Smashed it past the goalkeeper. James, dream start in the final.
Dream start.
One thing that I saw as well on social media, Richard, was that James actually put up a picture of Vardy before this final. If he wins it, is the Premier League picture going up? Have been lifting up the Premier League?
There's a lot of FIFA left to play. You can't count out John Egan. He has been stone-faced in this entire tournament. Nothing's fazed him.
Oh, no.
Another stat as well, Richard. That'll be 6 goals in total throughout this competition for Jamie Vardy. Joint top goal scorer for this Leicester side with James Maddison himself, who scored 6 goals. It really has been a fantastic outing. Here's a chance now. Sheffield United, you cannot write this team off. McGoldrick with a shot. Full back to Mousset. How can you recycle this one as far as George Baldock on this right-hand side? But one thing that's really impressed me with Sheffield United is how he's been able to use his midfielders. Oliver Norwood's been so influential going forward. He's already scored 3 goals for the Blades. We saw Lundstrom with a winner as well, Richard, all the way from the centre of midfield. He's just been utilising his midfield perfectly.
Yeah, just about to say that, Brandon. The midfield runners, Fleck, Lundstrom, Norwood, even the fullbacks pushing on, they have been instrumental in supporting Mousset up top. Yeah, the banner there between them.
It's going to be the Ronaldo chop against the drag back, isn't it?
That's exactly it.
Jamie Vardy, is it 2? It will be 2 in this grand final. There's the mannequin celebration from James Maddison as well. He is lapping every single second of this grand final.
James, how good is Jamie?
Gives me a little breathing space, that. I love it.
Breathing space in the final.
Not just throwing this one out there, Richard. We've all been in games of FIFA when you 2-0 up. you think you're all happy and sailing. You think, you're all right, here we go, we're going to win this one. But all I'd say is just
Johnny Evans, solid as a rock.
you need to get another goal. It's definitely not safe. It's definitely not done.
A lot of FIFA left to be played, but just early indications, there's a lot of room in that United back five. There's gaps there. You see Vardy making that run in behind again.
Hey, Jose, take care with the pass.
One thing that I've loved from Madison throughout this tournament as well is that he's literally copied all the celebrations in game of every single player, whether it's Perez, whether it's Vardy.
What a save,
That's been
Kasper.
incredible.
What a save.
Chance now. What a save from Kasper Schmeichel in the Foxes' net to keep this game at 2 goals to the good. A third of this final has been played. If you have just joined us, this is your Premier League Invitational Grand Final. Leicester City leading by 2 goals to 0. Could it be 3? It's going to fall back to Barnes. He's just going to stab a foot at it, but not really aim it towards goal.
Right idea for the cutback. It was almost dinked up by Harvey Barnes, though, as he shot it goalwards. Not there.
Doesn't know where to go.
There you go.
The best of shots. Looking to play out of the back. Perez pressing high up the pitch. Jamie Vardy with another chance. Good defending from Egan. Read the drag back and stole back the ball.
Go on,
He needs
Stevens.
to drag himself back in this game.
Back straight.
He's into Stevens. Into the box. Muset's there.
You are Turkish giant.
He's keeping you in the game.
Called him the Turkish giant. He recently got himself a team of the season. Did saw him shoot. Been unbelievable for the Foxes in the Premier League. And he's been unbelievable at the back as well in this whole EPL Invitational tournament.
Yeah, alongside Johnny Evans, Vardy could be in for a first half hat-trick here.
He's breathing the drag back. He's been watching my games. He has.
Madison there. Been watching.
No.
Saying that John's been watching his games.
Go on, Deeds.
Into McGoldrick. The goal before half-time will be massive for the Blades now. McGoldrick into the box. Michael just about punches it away. The man management from James Maddison hasn't got unnoticed. Wiping up every single tackle, every single pass, every shot.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 2
Added time of just 2 minutes. This will be the last chance of the half.
Oh, he's good.
Can the
He's good
Foxes
at
go
defending.
3-0 up at the break? It would be game over, I'd say. And that should do us for the first 45 minutes of this game. Leicester City
Done so on two.
potentially leading by 2 goals to 0. And he does enough to
Fantastic
get down
half.
the back. Schmeichel will clear that one long. And you took the words out of my mouth, James Maddison. A fantastic first 45 minutes in this EPL Invitational final.
So there we have it, James Maddison. Great first half, 2-0 lead. Maddison, you must be very happy with that first half, mate.
Delighted with that. Couldn't have gone better, to be honest. And Jamie Vardy scoring at Bramall Lane's a familiar sight for me recently, so really happy with that one.
John, sorry to bring you in. He's going with the mind games again. He's going with the mind games. Is he getting in your head a bit?
Nah, he's only doing it because he's absolutely breaking it. He's nervous. He's already doing it up. But at the start, he was nervous, man. If I got the first goal there, it was game on. But to be fair, his last-ditch defending's been good. He's good around the box and stuff, down the side and finish. But no, that his centre backs kept me from getting 1 or 2 there. But there's gaps. If I can get the next goal, game on.
Are you nervous, Matt? As he says, you're nervous. You're swigging your water there. Are you feeling the nerves, mate?
Do you know what? I don't really know. I've never been ahead at half time or anything. I'm always coming from behind, so it's a bit of a weird feeling, to be honest. But nah, John's good. He's a good defender. It's not easy, but Soyuncu and Evans, like in real life, have been absolutely solid at the back.
Okay, we'll let you commence the second half. This is the final 45 minutes, of course, to find out who will be the EPL Invitational winner.
Johnny
Let's
boy.
hand you back to our casters.
Thank you very much, Smithy. Here we go then. Last 45 minutes of what's been an amazing 5 days of FIFA 20 action. You missed the first half. Leicester went 2 goals to the good. Jamie Vardy getting a brace. And Jamie Vardy could have for a third early on into this second half. Fantastic tackle at the back for Basham, but it's a little bit of a job on his hands, Richard. 2 goals needed if he wants to send this to golden goal. Oh no!
Kelechi,
Take the words out of my mouth.
Kelechi, Iheanacho.
Thank you, bro.
James Maddison, 3 goals to the good.
Tim man.
The keeper's an 85 overall. They saved nothing.
This is
Dino wouldn't get
probably,
close to that.
in terms of scoreline, the most that Jamie's been leading since, what, the first game against Callum Wilson?
He's had such tight games, Richard, ever since that round 1 game. We have to give him credit. He came through round 1, had to go into round of 16. Back-to-back golden goal scenarios up against Southampton. An even tougher one up against Aston Villa in Keenan Davis, one of the tournament favourites. He's made it into this final, and he's 3 goals to the good. He is in pole position.
Do you know what it is, Brandon? That win against Davis. Madison obviously thought that was the toughest game of the tournament. As soon as he won that game, the self-belief was through the roof. He knew he had the confidence in his own FIFA ability to win this tournament. And he's 35 minutes away from lifting the EPL Invitational title.
Oh, you're crowding out the
talking
midfield.
about
Stop it.
how many goals have been scored throughout this tournament, Richard? There's been 19 goals scored between Vardy, Madison and Iheanacho throughout this whole tournament, which just goes to show how deadly those 3 have been for him.
They've been the driving forces going forward. Kelechi there looking to play in Vardy again.
Wilfred and Didi, I swear to God, he's like having 2 players in it.
I still
Singing
can't
the
get over
praise
that
of Wilfred
Ndidi
and
goal. I
Didi.
still cannot get over that Wilfred and Didi goal that took it to golden goal in the semi-finals. Incredible scenes. 30 minutes left, though. We've seen comebacks happen before. Madison's a player that's come back when he's been down before. We've seen John Egan also do the same and snatch wins late on. Remember, as I said, Sheffield United haven't won against Leicester since 2008. They're hoping out for some sort of chance. This would be the best opportunity.
Lad, that midfield is crowded.
Into Stevens.
Crowded.
Into the box it will go.
You've
It's
got
just too
tactics on
routine. It's too
everything.
easy for Schmeichel.
I don't know how you
heard
do
John
that.
there
Steady.
saying the midfield is crowded and having to force the
Well
ball
done,
out
Kelly.
wide.
I'm going to go out and say it though, Richard. I know John hasn't changed his tactics too much in this game, but when you're 3-0 down, remember he's starting at 5 at the back.
You've got to go
He
back
needs to. He's got to change it, hasn't he? He's got to change his formation. He's got to get more players forward. Otherwise, this is going to be Kearns. This is going to be 4-0 over. Iheanacho with the drag back. Back to Iheanacho. It's 7 for the Nigerian forward. He's been full of goals.
And I know for a fact
And if
he's
anything-
watching. Kelly, thank you,
He
brother.
might as well write his name on the trophy. He says Iheanacho's watching home. He thanks him for that goal. And all the others he has put away in this tournament. Superb stuff. James Maddison, 4 goals to the good.
You see how much it means to him. He's been passionate from game 1 to the final. It's merely minutes away for James Maddison and Leicester City.
Oh!
Hits the post with Madison himself. That'd be the cherry on top of the cake.
And John, what are you making of the game now? You're 4-0 down with 20 minutes left. Time to go 3 at the back. Just go for it. You've got to go for it.
Yeah, to be honest,
Honestly, boys,
I don't know what it is. Don't know. To be fair, he's good, but I don't know. I just haven't. First half didn't turn up, man. Didn't punish him. Getting punished now.
James, on the other side of that, how are you feeling? 20 minutes away.
Giving a few of the young lads a run out, I am.
He is as well.
Oh man.
Someone
They're all
off a few
85
of
and
the top goal scorers. I mean, if you look at what Iheanacho's done, Vardy, Madison, they've all scored goals for him. On comes Hurst.
George Hurst sent me a text after the semi-final saying well done and stuff, so I'm giving him a little run out.
Brought Justin on in at full back. Hurst up top. Giving them all a run out. It's party season for James Maddison and Leicester City.
thanking them for their support over the 5 days. So the Iheanacho's watching at home. He'll be enjoying every single goal that has gone in from himself.
Oh,
And he's 15 minutes away from being crowned the second EPL Invitational champion. He'll be on that winners list alongside Diogo Jota of Wolves. Ender Stevens back to McGoldrick. No way through.
How good has Seunchu and Johnny Evans been this game? Been immaculate at the back. Nothing has phased them.
Johnny Evans. That is why
it just goes to show you, though, Richard, doesn't it? How good Johnny Evans would be in the game of FIFA. Just whack a bit more pace on him.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 85 rated mode, showing certainly the potential of so many players. Hurst dancing around the box, looking to play Jimmy Vardy. Vardy
read me like an absolute.
Too many drag backs, too many turns there for Jamie Vardy. But he's 4-0 up, he doesn't care.
Johnny Evans, I'm giving him a text after this.
He deserves your trophy, James. He's been unbelievable at the back.
I'll get him a copy made of the trophy.
There's got to be a copy going to Wilfred Ndidi.
James Maddison only
of this final game. James Maddison. Oh, it wouldn't be, would it? It wouldn't be right without him scoring. James Maddison has scored 7 goals in total throughout this whole EPL Invitational.
What a performance from James Maddison in the final. The best performance of the entire tournament, coming at the biggest stage for Madders.
John's been outstanding the whole tournament, but pressure gets to people, doesn't it?
You know what it was? When you scored the third goal, that was me done.
John, you're actually good. Oh, no.
It'll just be a consolation here for Fleck. Will it be a consolation? It will be.
We needed to suss you out.
Oh, God. Only Fleck.
Of course, we know which way the game will be going. We know who our champion will be of the second EPL Invitational. That will be James Maddison and Leicester City. There'll be commiserations to the Blades. They'll be searching for that win against the Foxes. He's had a fantastic tournament, hasn't he, Richard?
He absolutely has. John Egan's impressed everybody. He came in as a dark horse. We didn't know much about him. But today is James Maddison's day. And Leicester City, what a performance. What a win for Maddison. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The best performance of the entire tournament from him has come at the best stage.
That'll do, ref.
Waiting for the full-time whistle. Referee wants to play one more corner before the party really does get underway for the Foxes. Away at Bramall Lane in a grand final. And it will be a 5-1 victory unless there's one more here. Referee, full-time please. James Maddison will be your EPL Invitational champion. Congratulations.
John, let's talk to you first then. Commiserations, John. How are you feeling after that one?
Yeah, I think he had me so stout, like he crowded out the midfield. And then he got the 2 goals in the first half. And then as soon as the third went in, you know, it's hard to come back from there. But no, I'd like to have got him so stout. But the best player won. He scored 5 goals. He's good around the box and that, good at drag back. So, yeah, congratulations.
I heard you say then as well, you felt like you might have sussed him out a little bit towards the end. Do you think if you had a second game, you would beat him in the second match?
I don't know. He's obviously ahead of me at FIFA at the moment. Like he's got them little drag backs around the box. And he says he doesn't play it much, but he's definitely put Indeed in someone else sitting in front of them doing centre half. They didn't move. And he's been watching. Don't worry, he's been watching. But he's a good player. He's clinical, you know, 5 good finishes. Yeah, as I said, congratulations to him.
And we saw Mousse struggle to get into the game a little bit compared to the other matches. Was that just down to the fact that Madison had worked out how you were playing effectively?
Yeah, he just blocked off the striker's feet. And when you have a wing back, you kind of only have one outlet. So maybe looking back, I probably should have went with a 4-3-3 or something. But yeah, is what it is. You know, delighted to get to the final. It would have been nice to win it, but you know, it's still been a good run.
So final question then, how much have you enjoyed representing the Blades in this EPL Invitational?
Oh, it's been fantastic. You know, came in kind of not knowing what to expect, hoping I wasn't going to get battered in the first game, and you know, to make it to the final, and obviously not a nice way to end. But no, it's been brilliant. The fans have engaged a lot with it, and it's been enjoyable.
Thanks very much, John. Commiserations. Cheers very much for joining us.
Cheers, bud.
Right, let's chat to our winner, James Maddison. There he is smiling. James, 5-1 victory. You say one of your most dominant performances of the whole tournament for the final.
Yeah, one of my best performances, to be fair. I said to John that I didn't really know what to do with the tactics and stuff, but that might have been a little white lie because I did put Wilfred and Didi to stop cut passing lanes. It's a little option you can do. Because I know he likes going to strikers, because I watched a bit of a semi-final and obviously I was waiting around. So, it was all great fun. John's obviously been a brilliant contestant and that, but only one winner there, wasn't there?
There was only one winner indeed, Madders. Another player that once again played particularly well for you, Jamie Vardy. Now, I've interviewed you a few times over the course of the last few seasons, and every interview I've done with you, you always talk about how much you love playing alongside Jamie Vardy in real life. And in FIFA, it's exactly the same. He came up for the goods with you again.
Jamie Vardy scores goals. Fact. Full stop. Same as real life. Scored at Bramall Lane, scored a couple. Obviously, like I've said many times to you, Smithy, he's fantastic to play along. And Madison and Vardy get on quite well with FIFA as well when it looks at things.
And Iheanacho as well, another 2 goals for Iheanacho. You said he was watching. He'll be watching now. You're going to be messaging him saying thank you?
Kelly, you are clinical. John Egan's going to be having nightmares about Kelechi Iheanacho tonight.
And Madders, of course, you scored with yourself, but most importantly...
When you get the ball first, then next time we play, you get ready.
Madders, did you hear John there? I think you're in for quite a physical game next time you play Sheffield United, mate.
Yeah, I was like I'm going to get crunched in the first 10 by the sound of things. But, I can't wait to be back on the pitch. Obviously, John just joking around there, but I can't wait for a game of football, to be honest. John's probably the same.
Madders, just give a message to the Leicester fans. Just tell us how much you've enjoyed being involved in this tournament, because obviously we're all doing this remotely from home. Huge effort from everyone to bring this to you from the Premier League. Everyone working remotely from home. It's been a great effort. How much have you enjoyed representing Leicester and being a part of the EPL Invitational?
Yeah, obviously seeing the first tournament like from a distance won't bring up how Leicester did in that, Wilfred and Didi. But it's been fantastic. The fan engagement, like John said, has been brilliant. Like social media and stuff, and it's just like another way to keep us occupied, keep us entertained, and the fan engagement's been brilliant. I've been obviously getting a bit of stick off some of the teams, the fans of the teams that I played against and beat, and I had a bit of mind games with. But it's all good fun and games, and like I said, it's all for a good cause, all staying inside and stuff, and fully enjoyed the whole tournament. So. Delighted to come out victorious. That one was for you, Leicester fans.
Yeah, final message for those Leicester fans. There's been so many that have been behind you throughout this tournament. Final message to the Leicester fans. What would you like to say to them, Madders?
Can't wait to see you all soon at the King Power. I mean, obviously, tough times at the minute, but we'll try to grind this out, and we'll be back at the KP soon enough. I love you all, and thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to, obviously, you producers that put the tournament on and everything. It's been brilliant, and I'll watch the next tournament, if there is one, sat next to my trophy. So thank you, guys.
Brilliant, James. Congratulations. Just confirmation, the EPL Invitational champion is James Maddison of Leicester City. Thank you very much for joining us. Huge congrats, Madders. There he is. Hands in the air. Joe, a worthy winner. What a final we witnessed.
Yeah, exactly. What a final we witnessed. There we go. James Maddison, Premier League Invitational champion, number 2. Diogo Jota won the first game. Hopefully. James Maddison won the second tournament. That was just an epic final, Smithy. Fitting for what's been a brilliant tournament.
It has been a great tournament.
Yeah, I mean, we're just talking there about the amazing final, but it's been an amazing week, really, hasn't it? 5 days of FIFA action, over 100 goals, brilliant games, Smithy. I can't pick a favourite. It's just been a brilliant week.
Okay, there we go. I like that. Still sitting on the fence at the very end. Huge congratulations to James Maddison and Leicester City, the winners of the EPL Invitational. Just a final reminder from all of us here, please do stay at home, stay safe in an attempt to save lives. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.